Hey kiddos, sorry I can't be here today. I am working with the teachers on just a program that the school is doing this year. I am in the building if it is an emergency and you need anything. However, I just want to go over your project that we are starting today. It is a summative project. I need to make that clear. It should take you 2 days. Please do not go up to the substitute and say that you're done today. Today should almost be purely thinking, research, and your rough draft. So the download you got today looks like this. Okay, the back or the second page on your download, that is the rough draft. Okay, this is what you need signed off on by the sub or myself. The sub will be tomorrow. If it's myself, it'll be Wednesday before you can get the full sheet of paper. The sign off is not for me to be a jerk. It's to make sure that you don't get a 0 out of 30 on a summative, meaning the same amount of points as the test, because you rushed. It was more just to make sure you did things correctly. So the overall purpose of this project is to have you practice the function of the cell parts. Remember, function means job or the purpose. You need to think, the hardest part about this is to think of an overarching analogy. So you need to think of something larger that has many sub-jobs going on inside. So the cell parts we learned are cell wall, vacuole, mitochondria, nucleus, cell membrane, cytoplasm, chloroplast. You're going to need to use your notes. That's why I have these up. You're going to need this column right here. You're going to be referencing it often. I'm going to go over an example with a school. So you cannot use school. That's the rule. School is my example that I'm giving with everybody so that you know how to do this. So if I'm a student, I'm going to pick this up. I'm going to read the instructions. I'm going to read all parts because I know it's summative and I want to make sure I do it right. And then I'm going to read all the requirements here. And then the rubric down on the bottom shows you where you get your points, so make sure you look at all parts, which is why tomorrow should almost be an entire day of you planning. Again, the rough draft is on the back. So I'm going to start by thinking of an overarching analogy. My example is going to be a school. So I'm going to look at my cell parts, and I'm going to say, okay, here's a couple of them. So here's the ones we've done. Let's start from this first one. Excuse me while I look. No, where is... There we go. So we started with cell membrane and cytoplasm. We're going to look here. So everything has to go with your overarching analogy. So mine's a school. So for every one of these, I'm going to say, how does this compare to something in a school? I'm going to repeat. For all of these, have to go with your overarching analogy. You cannot think of 7 random analogies. An analogy is a comparison, okay, to something. So you're going to compare the function of the cell part to something that does the same job in your overarching analogy. So mine is going to be a school. I repeat, you cannot use a school. So the first one here is cell membrane, and I'm going to say, okay, selectively permeable. I'm going to double check with my vocabulary, and I'm going to say it lets things in and out. And then I'm going to say what in a school lets things in and out. I can think of a door or Miss Hacken. So my rough draft here for cell membrane. Okay. Oop, let me get that in there. For cell membrane, my analogy is going to be a door, and the reason is because they both let things in and out. On top here, you're going to write your overarching analogy. So I'm going to write school. I repeat, you cannot do school. You have to think of something else. Next, cytoplasm fills in the extra space. So I'm going to find cytoplasm on this sheet. Okay. Here's number 3 here. Ooh, this is harder to do than I thought. Okay, so I'm going to find cytoplasm. My analogy, I have to think, okay, what in a school fills the empty space? Maybe air or students? So I'm going to write air. Why? Because they both fill the empty space. Check. So there's our example for those 2 for school. Now let's scroll down to our next few. Okay, so you get the idea with the paper. So this one, nucleus, function, controls all the activities. So I'm going to say to myself, what in a school controls all the school's activity? Who's the boss or the brain of the school? And that would be the principal, in my opinion. So on my rough draft, I'm going to say a nucleus is like a principal because they both control all the school's activities, or all activities. Next one is mitochondria, my favorite, makes energy for the cell. So what in a school makes energy? And it can be literal or figurative. So remember, it can be literal or figurative. The real thing that makes energy, or figuratively what acts like energy in a school. So my example here, mitochondria could be students, because you guys are the energy of the school. Without you, it's very quiet. Or I could actually say a generator, which is actually what makes energy of the school. So again, on my rough draft, I'm going to say mitochondria is like students because they both create energy for a school. The next few, let me find the filled out one. Again, we're using this column, function. The project works on function. So vacuole is storage. What in a school does storage? Okay, and a lot of people say lockers. Cell wall. What in a school is structure and support? The walls. Chloroplast. Okay, here's where hopefully you are listening. Everyone, I give everyone permission, even if it makes no sense. I give you all permission to use solar panels or plants for chloroplasts. Okay, so that's where you're going to start. You're going to get this rough draft filled out. You're going to go up to the substitute or myself, and you're going to make sure you tried your best and it makes sense. Then when you get a signature, then you can get your final part, and I'm actually going to draw a school on the inside. So you're going to draw the example, but write cell part. So on the front, I'm going to draw a door, but write cell membrane. I'm going to draw the principal, but write nucleus. I'm going to draw students, but write mitochondria. So that's the front part. On the back, you are going to write complete sentences. Complete sentences. On the back, you're going to write complete sentences. Here's an example from last year. This is like, let me find a better slide where you can see me, because you know you guys want to see me. There you go. This is like this because. Okay, and again, I'll have these out. So this student did a turtle, drew the analogy, but wrote the cell part. So drew a shell, going backwards here, but wrote cell wall. Okay, then on the back, again, complete sentences explaining. This is like this because they both do this. This student drew a car, drew the analogy, but wrote the cell part. Complete sentences on the back. This student drew a zoo, drew the analogy, but labeled the cell parts. Okay, I will have these out and about. I repeat, you cannot use a zoo. So when you're done with this video, your very first thing you should do is think of something larger that has many jobs or functions going on inside. You cannot use a school, but the school is the example. Then you fill out your rough draft, you get a signature, and then you start your final project. I repeat, it's 30-point summative, folks. So this is your chance to get your grades up, especially if you struggle with tests. Good luck. Remember, the learning target is the function of cell parts, their jobs. And then remember to do 3 vocabulary visuals every night. Yeah, I will be checking my email if you need help, though, however. All right, good job, kiddos. I'll talk to you later. Good luck. Be good. Please be good. Be nice and respectful of our subs. And hopefully they will hand out a sub-rater recognition slip. Remember, they got donuts last week. So show your 4 R's and be the students I know you are. You're awesome. I apologize I have to be gone so much. You guys know I miss you, and I'd rather be with you. Have a great day. We will be working on this Tuesday, Wednesday. It is due Friday. Bye.